A wheat grinder in storage can be an investment, an investment not all of us are ready to make. I have had one for quite a few years, and the pan wasn't. It's a high-speed grinder that sounds like a jet airplane taking off, and I paid about $240 for it. And the pan wasn't constructed just right, and it blows flour pretty much all over the kitchen when I use it. I don't know if I'd have done the same thing if I had a choice again. So there, you do have some options. You have several options. None of them are cheap. The little tiny grinders that are about $60, they're about, the main part of it is about yay big, about the size of 3 packs of cigarettes. Um, from what I understand, it takes hours to get enough, to grind enough wheat. It's like using a pencil sharpener, I think, to get enough wheat to make a loaf or batch of bread. So that would not be my recommendation. I think there's something called the family grain mill, and it has a wheel about this big, and then the handle makes a bigger circle. So I think you get a little more leverage with that. That has it has a pretty good reputation. I have, in addition to my $239 jet engine electric grinder that you have to cover your ears, it's a flour mill, not a grinder, to use. In addition to that, someplace I have a inexpensive, I don't even know what it's called. I don't know if it's a coffee grinder, but it only will make like cracked wheat. So I figure I'll be stuck with that if worst comes to worst. I haven't had the money to try to do a quality hand grinder at this point in time. So those are some of your options. You can make cracked wheat in a blender if you have electricity. You get the blender started and pour, maybe, I wouldn't put more than half or 2/3 of a cup at a time in there, and then tap it out and do the same again. Dump it in the top through the little hole in the lid or what have you. And so you could use cracked wheat in muffins or bread. I probably would use it with white flour and probably in no greater than 50% concentration, maybe a third. If you have 3 cups of flour in a recipe, I maybe would use a third of a cup for muffins, or it can be used in wheat crackers. I haven't had a lot of experience using cracked wheat, but if you're going to use cracked wheat versus a flour that's ground finely enough, I would definitely mix it in with the liquid ingredients and let it sit for a while first, and then mix in the white flour and then proceed with the baking. Um, you can take whole wheat and soak it. You can sprout it. You can take whole wheat and put it in a crock pot overnight with water and have it for hot cereal. You can take that hot cereal and mix it in with chili. You can take that cooked cereal and mix it in casseroles. You could mix it in with spaghetti. I wouldn't want to do that. You could mix it in with smashed pinto beans and season it for burritos and that kind of thing. So it's pretty. You could put it in with meatloaf as a meat extender. You can put it in meatballs as a meat extender. That's about the end. It's about the complete list of the things that I know you can do without a real wheat grinder. I don't have a real big preference. The types of grinders, besides the regular hand grinders with stones, I think they have hand grinders with burrs, but I don't know much about that. The other choices are, I'm going to forget, these high-speed mills that are that's an impact. It has a top milling head and a bottom milling head that kind of go like this with spaces in between, and I believe they turn in opposite directions. There's a series of them. They get smaller and smaller and smaller in a circle. So the wheat, I think, goes up through the middle, and at a very high speed gets thrown outwards through these teeth. I think one piece goes one way, one piece goes the other, and the high-speed centrifugal force explodes the grain. It's a low temperature process. So the wheat is not very hot when it comes out. I will caution you, I've been doing milling. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. I have been milling wheat on a relatively fine setting and have been having bread failures for 20 years. So I don't quite have this down yet. You don't just start normally baking with wheat overnight unless you have somebody with you that really knows what they're doing. For some reason, I'm a good cook. I can cook a lot of things. I can bake a lot of things, but I've had an awful time with wheat. So take that into consideration. It also will do a number on your digestive system. And the white wheat is more digestible. It gives you less gas. It's not as hard on your lower digestive tract. It will not, uh, doesn't have as strong a taste. It rises later. So the hard white wheat is easier all the way around in my book. But some people prefer the red. Some people like to mix them half and half. And I guess that's all. Have a good day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is made on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Thanks. Bye.